Right. What's going on, friends? Shagsworth, TheShagsworth. Are their sites going right now? I always forget, dude. I'm 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 just doing I'm gonna jump into this guy's live right now. Well, not I'm not gonna jump in, but I'm gonna listen because some of it was just insane insanity. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Um Meta, if you could retweet me, that'd be awesome. Send a retweet out. I'm gonna shoot a message over to people hopefully here in so people know what we're doing. What's up, Professor Savage Dad? Am I quiet? How about now? That's probably better. Ooh. Um, oh my god. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, folks. Sorry about that. Let's go back to the big camera here. Hi, what's going on? Yeah, if you can, guys, share this on Twitter. We're gonna if you guys haven't been around for TikTok lives in the past, I basically have there's someone who I watch occasionally. They're on my phone right now. I'm gonna unmute them in a second, and we'll just kind of go take things like step by step and just see what they're saying. Um, Let me know if it's too loud. But here, I'm gonna put them on. I'm gonna try and get on the live too.
Airplane and fly it
Mhm.
around after I get a license. I don't have the capacity to do that right now. There's
Right.
no cognitive dissonance when I say I think women maintain the right to have an abortion, yet they do have to pay for it.
Okay. So
I
that
guess
would
that's
be like
cool.
pretty much you're saying that they can eject the baby, they can have an abortion at what
He said eject.
at all points of the birth or pregnancy?
They can remove the fetus from their body at all points. Yes.
Okay,
How
let
they
me
are
ask
going to
you.
do that is going to depend on the fetus's state. So, past viability, they are to remove it non-lethally because that's an available option at that point.
Is that a
Okay,
is
so
that a thing? Is that a thing? Like, oh hey, I don't want to be pregnant anymore. Let's remove it non-lethally. That doesn't seem right. Is that a thing?
viable. You're allowed to get rid of that baby at any point. 4 months, five
You're
months.
still obligated to use the gentlest force available.
Okay, why are you
I would still recommend like induced labor, for example, at 5 months.
Why are you obligated to do the lightest?
Yeah, just like you are with everything. Like you have a right to remove someone from your house, for example, but you can't just blow them up with a bazooka. You have to, ask them to leave, escort them out,
Okay.
call the cops, maybe. Yeah, you're obligated to use the gentlest force with anything you do.
Okay. So
So that's, I think what he's referring to is like minimum or force required to like get someone out of your home. These laws are different everywhere. Like some states have like castle doctrine, where like if I'm not mistaken, if someone essentially steps foot on your property, you could like shoot them. You could warn them and just be like, "Hey, you were trespassing my property." You can pew pew done.
only
No,
can.
they're not forced. They're not forced to be
o-
pregnant.
Okay.
Saying that someone cannot achieve something due to their lack of resources, I'm not forcing them to do anything. I am
But
not using any force to stop them.
they still have a possibility of they still have a way of ejecting the baby and doing more damage by killing the baby inside of them. Why can't they do that? If you don't
Because that
value.
wouldn't be that would be not the gentlest force available.
Okay, so the
But on God, I think you're still confused. On God, do you think you're forced to not be a billionaire?
What?
No, I'm what I'm trying to tell you. There's these two are gonna
Okay,
link.
well then I think you're
This
misunderstanding
is
what the
gonna
word
link
force
together.
means.
This is gonna link together. I promise you.
I'm
Because
excited.
if you don't
Hold on,
have,
I want you to admit first before we move on that you are misusing the word force.
it is it is highly unlikely that I'll ever become a billionaire.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll
Are
be
you forced not to be a billionaire?
yeah, maybe because of my lack of knowledge and my lack of
No, but
ability
you're
to
not
become
So
forced.
that.
Come on, dude.
who's forcing you to not be a billionaire?
My lack of ability to not be able to do that.
You're forcing yourself not to be a billionaire?
My lack of ability not to become that.
Are you forcing yourself to not be a billionaire?
Pretty much.
It's
Okay.
crazy
So
too. What I'll say is when you look at these TikTok lives, it is mostly people in the chat who like for a lot of like there's 89 people watching this kid's live, most of which are like life is life. Like what are you talking about? Most people are like more on the pro life side.
Technology that you're trying to use, and I'm just saying it's
yeah,
not.
but the principle here is not likelihood, it's about accessibility. So because something is inaccessible to you doesn't mean other people are forcing you not to achieve that goal.
Yeah, it does. Something is completely inaccessible to you, and you can't complete
Not
that
it's
goal.
not completely inaccessible.
There are people that are making the choice that that should cost money, and the money that it costs
Ooh,
could
this
be.
guy's losing the
I mean,
narrative
it could
here.
be
He needs
outstanding.
to
Have you seen
It's
these?
they're not so making the choice that something should not cost money is the same as giving your resources away. It's someone actively choosing to either give out resources of other people or give their own resources away. So what you're saying is that unless someone gives away their own resources for you, that they are forcing you not not to achieve a certain goal. Like for example, would you say if you needed my kidney to live
I'm
and
not
I
going through
didn't
that
give you
again.
my kidney, would I be forcing you to die?
I'm not going through that again. I'm not going through that again because I'm
Okay.
going to tell you right
these
now.
people are
Because if there's not an accessible option, you do not have that option for yourself, and therefore you are left with your own with being pregnant for the remaining of the
Professor, I
trimester
just made my
or
own.
for the
No,
pregnancy.
you don't
It's
have
actually
to
not that hard.
remain. A woman
It'll probably help you
is
if you
going to be
need it.
allowed to have an abortion even if she can't pay for it. She's going to go in debt, like $500
Oh
to
my
have an
god.
abortion.
I don't
And you know, $500 is actually a huge amount.
For some people, it is, yes, but that doesn't mean they're unable to get the abortion. They're going to go in debt.
Okay, so back to my original idea. So now you have to do it in the lightest way possible. You don't have accessibility to that um, benefit, right? So this is a benefit now, not a right. You have to remove it and you can't kill the
No,
disease.
no, no, no. It is still a right. Just because you don't have access to something doesn't make it.
The biggest argument that I think people need to understand, well, I think the most approachable and smartest idea when it comes to the pro-life argument is that you need to frame it in a way that, like, not everyone's going to follow it. You're never going to get 100% compliance from anyone. I don't think that abortion should be a constitutional right, but I don't think people should be jailed for 1,000 years. Like, I don't think you should get a life sentence because you had an abortion. But I think following and understanding where pro-life is coming from is so important, because there is some good that can be had from valuing life from the very, very first moment, from fertilization. I don't even understand how that's like contentious. So, like, are embryos people? Yeah, they certainly will be. Given its natural processes, it will be a person. Like, and if you understand that, you're less likely to, if you look at it from that point of view, you'll less likely engage in things that won't result in a pregnancy, and be less likely to have one. Because from what I've heard, like, it's a traumatic experience.
When ending a conflict, do you agree we should not use excessive force?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
you don't have an issue with this non-aggression principle.
I think that I have a
yeah.
idea with I think I have a disagreement with mostly the topic, not the analogy that you just created.
Okay, so what is your current contention?
I'm saying that if you have the right to have an abortion and get rid of this baby, you have the right to do it at any means possible because it's not a person,
No,
and that person's value
no.
doesn't weigh as much as yours.
So,
So what's up? What's
well,
That
exactly
okay,
was
harm
this
so
that
guy's
you're
so
allowed to
argument,
do
by the
it
way.
to do? Is a scale of harm
so
that you're allowed to put on this baby?
well, again, you agreed with the non-aggression principle. You're just not agreeing with it in this circumstance. You brought up the fact of whether it was a person. That is relevant because yes, if something is not a person, um, the non-aggression principle really wouldn't apply, right? People are not having abortions usually before or at the stage of embryo. Usually, when people are having abortions, it's a fetus already at that point. And yes, I would generally agree um,
Doesn't matter
that
when, though.
non-aggression principle doesn't apply to non-persons. Okay, but there can still be other protections, like with a corpse. Although a corpse is not a person, you're still not allowed to mess with corpses in certain ways. So I'm okay
Right.
with that kind of those kind of rules as well. So what's is that clearing things up for you or
Well, I just don't understand the I don't I don't understand your value in a baby because there has to be some sort of set value for that baby. If you value the mother more than that baby, the mother killing that baby, or no,
What's up,
the mother
Sonia?
harming that baby by
We're currently listening to someone debate whether embryos are people or not.
6 months is a forever long disability for that child. There's a high chance of that, and it might be
yeah, on God again. um I think I begin to value the fetus when it starts to have a sentient experience. And it seems like that starts to happen sometime in the second trimester
yes.
to according to what neuroscience is currently speculating on.
Mm.
I'm agnostic on when exactly that happens, just as scientists are. We're not certain when subjective experiences happen. But if I'm going to
I would say
just have
that
like
they're
a
fairly certain
precautionary
at this point.
principle, I would probably say around the second trimester is when I would say the fetus is likely to be a person.
Do you
Right?
realize? Do
What?
you realize if you have that sentient being come out alive and
Imagine this kid was just scraped out of his mother's womb and thrown in the fucking garbage. Like, this guy is just continually making like again, I just don't understand this, like, way of thinking when it comes to the whole topic. Like, sure, people are free to make the choices, but like, is an embryo a person? Sure, and it definitely will become a person. Like, again, think of it in terms of like if it were that, if it were him, it was his child.
We already talked about. I'm not forced to give you my kidney just because you need my kidney. So if you think that's
Well, the argument. So here's the tricky part about this debate. It's around personhood, not life. I think he is conceding the fact that it is life. But he's not calling embryos people. Is what it is.
to do with this.
Well, a verbal agreement, in my opinion, is even less. You should have the accountability as a person to realize that you having unsafe sex, which is 99% of the thing, 99% of the it's not mistaken. Like, you know, to have a baby, that's what you need to do.
99% of what?
99% of these cases is unsafe sex.
No, that's where's your statistic for that?
I mean, I could pull up
Okay,
the
let
exact
me.
statistic. I was over exaggerating.
Yeah, go ahead. Were you exaggerating?
I was being exaggerating. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
my
I was saying I
understanding,
could pull
it's
up the
more so
exact
like
statistic.
half, more like 50%.
Yeah. And I mean, even then, 50%
Yeah,
of the
when
people
someone
are having
agrees to
unsafe,
have,
and then
yeah,
and
when someone
decided not to
agrees to
have
have
family.
unprotected sex,
Yes.
that has
But we're
nothing to
talking about,
do with whether they are going to be forced to be
But
pregnant.
what is so? So nearly half of all pregnancies are unintended. Okay, but what percentage of all unintended pregnancies are due to unsafe sex? That's what I want to know.
When they, or if they
no,
become pregnant.
we're not talking about that. We're talking about accountability. We're talking about accountability.
Accountable for what? What
So
are
you
they
understand?
accountable for? What
Okay.
have they
Okay.
violated any rights, or
Listen.
have they entered into a
Listen.
contract?
Listen. You had sex.
And how would you find that out? Honestly,
Okay.
You went past 3 months. You went all the way to
Okay.
viability before you can have an abortion, and now you're rejecting the baby at later months.
Okay, when we legally hold
That
someone
is a full
accountable,
process.
we're usually going to be doing that because they've either violated someone's rights or they're violating a contract. So, are either of those two present in this scenario?
Repeat that one more time. Sorry.
When we hold someone,
so I mean that's a crazy number, by the way. So so this is an old statistic. In 2011, nearly half, 45%, or 2.8 million of the 6.1 million pregnancies in the U.S. were unintended. Specifically, 27% of all pregnancies were wanted later, and 18% of pregnancies were unwanted. That's still a crazy number that I think goes to show that people are just not, they're not understanding the actual repercussions of what they're doing. Hmm.
When somebody's pregnant, they're agreeing. They are choosing not
agreeing,
not to proactively take care of that within the first 3 or 4 months before viability.
yeah, I don't see how they're agreeing that they're going to remain pregnant simply because they are
Non-taking
pregnant
action.
for a few months.
Not taking action is agreement at this point.
Yeah, so you're actually making a real argument that if
What's up,
someone
King?
chooses not to make a decision within a certain time period, that they are neglecting their right, they're forfeiting their right to end the pregnancy. So are you saying they have the right to end the pregnancy at this point?
What's up, Static?
I've said from the very beginning that I'm like a 3-4 month kind of guy. I that's what I believe. Beyond, I'm sentience as well.
Yeah.
But
So my issue with this principle, and this, like I said, this is a real principle you're talking about here. This is the case in some areas of law. I simply disagree with it because I think forcing people to make a decision within a certain time period is wrong.
Absolutely. You should absolutely make good decisions prior to getting pregnant. Absolutely. 100%.
Okay. Well,
There can be a lot of factors at play here that cause them to not make a decision, right?
I
And they
think
might have become resolute during later points in pregnancy.
I think conforming to the minority in these situations are absolutely is absolutely reckless. I think that that's not majority of people, and at this point, we're talking.
Well, okay, on God, how many people do you think have abortions after the first trimester?
That's not the problem. The problem is after
No, no,
this.
no, we're talking about conforming to the minority. The vast majority has abortions before 3 months. So you're the one
Well,
actually
Still
making
wrong.
this whole argument about a
we're
minority in the
making a
first place.
limitation. We're making a limitation that wouldn't even
Okay.
apply to the majority.
Anything like once viability hits, which is kind of a fuzzy area anyway, there should be zero ability to abort a child, whether you're because you're sick of being pregnant or because you like. I mean, only if the only reason you should be able to, and it's not even called an abortion at that point. The only reason you should be able to do anything like that is because you you are in distress and you could die from it, or babies. Like that to me is like the restriction for it. You should not be able to electively do that after a certain point. But again, like you could change the course of history by letting people know that this is a person from fertilization. This is a person that will become just like you and me. We treat it as such. And people will approach this 1,000% differently. Like, I mean, there's no argument there. But this idea that you just, oh, what you do whatever you want, that's not a thing. That's not a person. Just squash it, just like it's a bug on the ground. It's like it's insanity to listen to.
At what point does it become a person?
You just asked me if that thing is a person, at what point does it become a person?
If it's not, what point does it? Sorry.
Well, now you're asking me a question. You were saying my thinking was wrong. Why are you saying that?
I want your definition. I want you
My definition of what?
your explanation. I want your explanation of that. Sorry.
Explanation of what?
When it becomes a person, when is you said
I've
sentience.
already told you that. Are you confused about my position? If that's the case,
I'd like to
why
know.
were you saying that I was thinking wrong? If you don't know what I'm thinking, why could it be wrong?
Well, because I
Oh
just don't
man,
know
someone just said it's a person when it can survive without using another person. Wow.
viability. You brought up
Yeah,
viability.
it's not an embryo at 4 or 5 months. So I'm still confused. What you think? I was thinking that was wrong.
Oh, okay. If it's not an embryo at 4 or 5 months, I don't know, bro. Embryos are so
Oh,
viable. I don't even know, dude.
embryos are not viable. All right, man. I'm gonna let you off.
Yo, what's up, dude?
How you doing?
Wonderful.
I'm
th-
debating on TikTok.
yeah, so yeah, that's how you're doing. Yeah, man, I've been listening a little bit. I just think that I mean, I think approaching the conversation as embryos are not people, like, is I think it can be dangerous in that dangerous is the wrong word. I think if people approached it that they were embryos, that you would see a shift in culture and how people approach like sexual activity in general. You'd probably have less abortions. You'd probably have less people born out of wedlock. You'd probably have less unplanned pregnancies. So I think, I mean,
Yeah, I'm sure you would, but I think there would also be dangerous conclusions that we come to after we say that an embryo is a right parent individual,
sorry, say that one more time. I missed the middle part of that. My bad.
Yeah, so I agree with you that those conclusions would probably follow if you started treating a embryo like a person.
Hmm.
But other conclusions that are very disagreeable would also follow.
What like what?
Yeah, like if a doctor in a lab were to accidentally knock over a petri dish with a single cell zygote inside of it, and the petri dish fell on the ground, broke open, and killed the cell. If it was the case that Cell was a person with rights that he just killed, would that be manslaughter
This seems like a
or
gotcha.
even murder?
No, I mean, we have the ways the laws are set out now anyway, they're like they they allow for a lot of things, like especially in medicine, right? I mean, we're doing things to try and help people. So if the goal of the doctor, I don't even know what the goal of the doctor is in this hypothetical, but if the goal was to try and find a cure for a disease or something like that, by harvesting some cells, like, and that accidentally happened. Well, it was an accident. Maybe there would be some sort of investigation to make sure it wasn't like malicious, but
Well, when you accidentally kill someone, that's manslaughter.
right.
So are you just saying you think doctors are allowed to commit manslaughter?
No, no, of course not.
Okay. So should this doctor go to prison for dropping the petri dish?
No, you like a lot of times you don't go to prison for like manslaughter either, especially if it's involuntary.
Um, Not a lot of the time, no. But would you agree that it should be possible for this doctor to go to prison for dropping the petri dish?
If he were take, I mean, again, this the investigation kind of would, in this hypothetical would be if the doctor was going into like a cold storage where these embryos are being stored and then like throwing them into the
Sure.
dumpster, yeah. I mean, I think that would probably be a crime anyway. Maybe not punishable by
Well,
death, but
that would just
or
be like premeditated. That would be murder
yeah.
at that point, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, it's
Okay, so
it's
yeah,
wrong.
in, if a doctor intentionally threw away like a zygote, a petri dish, like threw it in the trash, you think he should go to prison for life?
No.
Possibly.
No, I mean,
Why
again, I
not?
think no, because it should be a crime, and I don't know if it is, but it likely is because it's someone's property anyway. But maybe, but just for different reasons. I just think
So
that
what crime should it be?
well, if at the very least it's destruction of property. If you want to like, if that's like again, that's like probably the
Okay, well, yes, but now you're no longer treating the embryo like a person. That's exactly my point.
well, you said
It
yourself that
seems
there's different
reasonable
tiers
that we
of
should not treat it like a person.
right, but you've said yourself that there's different tiers.
There's no tier of if it's true that an embryo is a person,
Hmm,
we would not treat them like property. That doesn't happen in any other case.
that's fair. That's a good point. I can concede that. I do think that if embryos are not people, I think you're like we're focusing on a very fringe fringe case here, fringe hypothetical. Um and I think the importance here lies in what like if the embryo is the person, like I said.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
this is not. Yeah, you're correct. This is a fringe example. I think a more dangerous example would be someone like a woman who had just like conception had just happened in her body, like a embryo was formed, but it hadn't morphed into her uterus yet, so she's not pregnant yet, but there's an embryo inside of her. If it were the case that she did something like took an aspirin, that's one of the things that can influence your hormones during the process. That could cause her to flush out the embryo, could cause the embryo not to implant. That could possibly also be considered manslaughter or some sort of crime because they're causing the death of this person, apparently. Um, yeah, I think that's an even more scary conclusion. Um, so I think it's more reasonable that we define person as someone who is at least like sentient, perhaps.
Yeah, but if you're in a coma,
I think conception is far too early.
okay. I
Yeah, if you were in a coma, you would have been sentient already. You can still be sentient.
yeah, but you're not sentient
So you have
anymore.
already.
The
No,
embryo
you're
can be
currently not
sentient.
sentient.
That's
But
a bad argument because the embryo can
listen,
be sentient given its natural
no.
processes.
So if yeah, it's not about can be. It's about has it been sentient. A person in a coma has been sentient. So they've already achieved the category of person, right?
Yes,
They're
but
temporarily not sentient, but because they have been sentient, they would still be a person, so they can no longer be sentient.
But that's what I mean. Like this sort of like nihilism that people weave through these debates is kind of weird because it will be sentient, and you interrupting that because or people interrupting that because it doesn't fit with their current lifestyle. That is like it's sort of this moral rot that I think people need to sort of start getting out of their life because
I
there's
completely disagree because you're saying because you're preventing a sentient being from coming into existence, that's wrong, correct?
yes.
That's true of all contraceptives. If I pull out of my girlfriend during sex, I'm also preventing a sentient being from coming into
Nope.
existence.
Nope. No,
Would that be
because
illegal?
no, you've already no, contraception should be absolutely 100% used all the time and should be
But
encouraged.
it's also preventing a sentient being from coming into existence.
Yeah, you're don't hurt yourself on this stretch, man. That's not
It's not a
even
stretch at all.
it is.
If I did not use contraceptive, would it be the case that a sentient being could come into existence?
It birth control is 100% different than a baby or sorry, an embryo taking hold in the mother's uterus and then you stopping that process. You stopping the process before it happens. We are trying to prevent.
They're not different in the principle that a sentient being is prevented from existing. That's the principle we're questioning right now.
It's already in
That
existence.
principle is the same in both scenarios.
It
No,
already
an embryo
exists
is
in
not
one
sentient.
scenario. It already exists in one scenario or like
No,
the process.
no,
But no process
no.
has no, but here's the difference. There's no process that's begun. My sperm and the egg
The
on its own are
process
not the
is
same.
yeah. I'm not saying the sperm and the egg on their own is the same as a zygote on its own, but both are in the process
No, they're
of
not.
creating a sentient being.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
One is just so is butter a cake?
The embryo doesn't poof into existence.
Neither does a cake. You still need to add a bunch of things to the
Yeah.
like
Okay.
you don't just make a
Shags.
yeah,
Yes
go
or
ahead.
no? Is an embryo sentient?
Sorry, say that again.
Is an embryo sentient?
Not yet. It will be though.
Okay, so the embryo is not the cake either, right? What we're talking about is like cake batter without egg versus the cake batter with egg.
No, you're talking,
okay?
dude. You're talking about cake batter in the oven. Everything's mixed, and the process is starting.
Cool. Yeah. Sure. You could say that too, right? It's cake batter in the oven, right? It's still not a cake yet.
It will be so what I'm saying is that cake batter is done and mixed.
The cake batter will be a cake too
right.
if you put it in the oven.
Right. Yes.
It will be a cake in both scenarios.
Yes.
One is simply further along the line than the other.
So stopping me from putting butter in a pan is not the same as putting the cake batter in the oven and then throwing it across the floor because you don't want it anymore. That's totally different.
They are both the same when it comes to preventing the cake from being finished. They both achieve that goal.
I don't know, man. I see what you're saying, but the difference is that so one is one ingredient. If I put that one, so if we're sticking with the butter and the cake batter, butter I put in a pan, the only thing that's going to happen to that in an oven is it's going to become a puddle. If I put the cake batter in there, everything that's in that, given that natural process within the mother, it will become sentient. It will become that cake. So stopping that is morally wrong. And some people believe it should be illegal to do.
Do you think it's morally wrong to kill an embryo before it enters a womb now?
It's not an embryo, but what? I don't. That doesn't.
Yeah.
What?
So an embryo before implantation, is it wrong to kill an embryo before implantation?
Who's doing that?
For example, the doctor killing an embryo in the lab.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like premeditated and you're doing it to like to kill something, yeah, it's wrong. I think.
Okay, so now we're talking about cake batter that hasn't even been put into the oven.
I just think. I mean, it's just Yeah, but it's already
You're just picking and choosing which
no.
line, like which point in development you're gonna say it's wrong to stop. I think it's arbitrary. Make a lot of sense.
Mm, yeah, but it's still an embryo. Frozen cake batter, gonna be going in there anyway. Again, if you're intentionally
Yeah, and the fact
destroying
that
that
it's an
life, then there's a
embryo.
problem with it because it is essentially murder. Murder in any
Okay, well now you're no longer talking about the potential to be sentient. You're
it.
just talking about a different category, which is that it's biologically alive. Now you're just shifting the goalpost.
Okay, well, I guess let's shift back because that's not my intention. I mean, either
Okay.
way, I mean, my argument remains is that it's wrong. I mean, if in your question, it is wrong to absolutely like for the doctor to kill the child. I just don't understand like contraception is where people should start as far as preventing because you're not inhibiting on the actual life. The
Okay.
embryo is
So
now
again,
life.
you're referring it. Okay, is life valuable inherently, or is the potential to be sentient valuable? Because you keep switching between the two.
I'm not
You have to pick
switching
one.
it. They're sort of I mean, I guess there'd be one and the same. Like
They're not
life,
the same.
well to
No, they're not the
you,
same.
like life and personhood and all that is to me is all sort of tied to the same thing. And again, I think that when you
Okay,
argue
so
away from that,
I'll give you an example.
okay, go
There
for it.
can be embryos, and there are embryos that have genetic abnormalities, and
Right.
they will never lead to a pregnancy.
Yeah, that happens in nature. Yeah.
So are those people?
Yeah, they would have. I mean, again, genetic abnormalities are not the
No,
norm.
not what are they? Not would have they been people? Are they?
They all have the potential to be people. Yeah. I don't yeah.
They have the potential to be people, or are they?
Yes, they're all people. Yep.
Okay, so you can be a person even if you have no potential ever to be sentient. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, how would you know first of all that I mean, again, your hypotheticals are kind of weird because how do you know?
No, IVF doctors are aware of genetic abnormalities. It's a common thing.
Really? So they just like here you go. We're gonna roll the dice on this, and oh, looks like you
Yeah,
drew the
they normally disregard these embryos. They don't use them during the
yeah.
implantation
And
process.
this is actually one of the reasons I've actually argued against IVF in it being kind of a scary bad practice for that reason because it's borderline eugenics.
Okay.
I
I
mean,
think most
borderline. I
people
mean,
would
I'm
disagree.
using in like terms that obviously are they're meant to get people aroused a little bit, but
Yeah,
I mean,
when you say borderline eugenics, you're also implying that it is not eugenics. There is some distinction between an embryo and a person, right? I agree with you there. I don't think embryos are. But when I ask you about that, you seem
no,
to change your
I'm
mind and say, "Well, they are in fact people."
yeah.
You should be saying it is eugenics if that is the case. Not is borderline.
Yeah, well, I guess in the term how people usually construe the term of eugenics, but yeah, I mean it's you're essentially playing God. You're saying I don't like that, I like that. I want blue eyes, not brown eyes. Like people who do that and make kids like handbags, I think are evil because I think but there again, I think the borderline part that comes in with me is that I have nieces and nephews that were born out of IVF, and like I know my sister-in-laws, like they've had it, and it's made them extremely happy to be able to raise kids. So it's a sticky situation. I haven't fully come to like flush out in my own mind, but I think again, it's a dangerous practice, and it's a hard thing to talk about um level-headedly.
Well, I think we could easily dismiss this scenario by just realizing that being an embryo is not the same as being a person. Just because you belong to the human species and you're an organism, you're not a person. Those two qualities aren't sufficient for being a person.
Yeah, I mean,
What I think makes you a person is whether or not you have desires, experiences, intentions, right?
Yeah, I just
don't have those.
it's a hard thing to debate. I appreciate you doing your debates, man. It's it's been fun talking with you. I just think like a lot of things, topics that go on, it's not generally one way or the other. Embryos are not people. Like it's a hard thing to like debate head on because there's caveats to a lot of it, and I'm sure the conversation go different if we weren't online. I don't know, maybe, but it's no, man. I got to get back to doing some of my own stuff. I appreciate you letting me up here and to debate with you. It was fun.
Hey, no problem, man. You have a good
Debate with you. It was fun.
Hey, no problem, man. You have
Okay, so I didn't want to keep going around in circles with that guy, but I don't know. I could see him making some decent points there. I thought I made some good points there as well. A contraception, a whole new combination of DNA is created. New person, the idea that there needs to be sentience or the ability to care for oneself is ambiguous and unscientific. See, this is where I agree. Again, it's really hard to debate on the TikTok stage because it's supposed to be like one gotcha after the next, right? They're trying to do everything they can to look right in front of their audience and not look dumb. So when I bring up decent points and they're just like, well, what about this? And it's like, okay, dude, like honestly, it's not as cut and dry as all this. But I do think to some degree there are gradations of it all. But it's tricky language. Like embryos are not people. Here, I'll show you what this kid looks like so you can see. That's what that kid looks like. But so the other part of it is that this kid doesn't have kids. He's trying to argue a point without understanding the whole situation himself. Bane Miller says embryos are humans in the embryonic stage of development. Yeah, and that's the thing is like he's not arguing that it's human, and if I had brought that up, you would have like, well, it's not the argument. I'm not saying he's not human. I'm saying he's not a person. And it's like, all right, dude. So that's why there's no reason to continue on with him is because he's not arguing it's not a human. He's trying to gotcha these people and be like, oh, like no, it's not that's not my argument. My argument is this, blah blah blah. You were gonna ask if he was old enough to make a kid. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he could. And like the argument that he was making that contraception should be illegal because you're stopping the natural process of having a kid. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. And I think if anyone is under some illusion that's how it works, they're just like, no one wants to. No pro-life. Every pro-life person I know wants to like do contraception. Use it, all of it, 2 times. Oh yeah, that's. I mean, 100%. So like there's another live here. Women don't need men to lead them, and vice versa. This is another tricky one. I have an eyelash in my mouth. There's another tricky one. Women don't need men to lead them, and vice versa. So we don't need to lead each other. Again, now the argument becomes like it's almost impossible to argue this because well, we need people to lead one another. Like what? It is nice to have roles that people sort of follow, and that and I think humans are used to following certain rules. Like what? King Deplorable says, to the point, we wouldn't call human embryos fish embryos. We call them human embryos. Linguistically, there is a reason we differentiate. Let's see what this guy's saying.
I don't.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't.
No, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Oh, it's a woman. Looks like a guy.
No, but I mean, like, do you still disagree with the topic after, talking through it a little bit? Because, like, though, yes, we do see more males within leadership roles, both men and women are very capable of, being able to simply support their followers' development and success in a very efficient way.
there's a part where men take when it's a yin yang.
Sure.
When men
Yeah.
when men are in a place and they're stronger, they handle things strongly, and the woman is fully
Okay.
breaking down. That yin yang kicks in, and that's the best part about having somewhat of a leadership role. It's
Do you
not an
believe that
entirely.
that's within most cases? Is that the woman is going to break down and the man is going to be the logical one?
No, not entirely. I've done it myself.
Okay.
And the woman's always been there for me to get me through everything that's going on. That's the
Yeah,
part that
I'm trying to see the point that you're getting to. That's why I'm asking these questions.
I'm mainly is that we need each other. There's no getting around it. At first, I thought you
I
were
mean, I
advocating.
agree. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is a stupid argument. Women don't need men to lead them. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. But I think men and women need each other. Men and women need each other, 100%. I think it's something that makes them whole. I mean, just as mammals, as reproductive creatures who are trying to essentially, propagate the next generation. Is that the right word? I don't know.
Security and everything like that. So, within just the workforce, of course.
Do you agree though? Yeah, I know, Savage Dad. That was stupid. I'm just gonna request to join. We'll see if I get in. I don't know. I don't really want to linger because they seem to be having like a decent conversation. Procreate, yeah. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Procreate. Sorry. It's a Tuesday and I'm not feeling good. Listen.
Or the most sharpest tool in the shed. I'm a well used.
Neither am I, man.
But I'm just saying that a lot of this stuff is just it creates turmoil when you ask the question. It's like asking somebody how many people have you slept with. It creates turmoil.
Well, depends on who you ask, right?
Yeah.
Like I'll have
It's the same thing.
Like I'll have people. Most of the people who come up on this panel are like you, and we can have a conversation without screaming at each other. That's most of the conversations I have here. Like I'm being very serious about that, and my audience does know that. But of course, we have the outliers and everything like that. Yeah.
Anytime you ask a question that is going to, pinch somebody's feelers, and excuse the trailer trash talk, because I am a redneck, but still, it's always going to bring up emotions. Yeah.
I'm going to use that. That is hilarious. That is such a fun way to say it.
It's going to create emotion, and then somebody's going to, mistalk a lot, and they'll say things that they, or nor will they articulate the way that they should be saying.
Let me in. Let me in.
I can't control people.
No, you can't, obviously, because I've seen some of the comments and I was like, whoo, hello.
All right. But hey, we are getting a little bit off topic.
I've said enough.
Yeah. Did you have anything else that you wanted to say before we move on to the next guest?
No, ma'am, I do not. I just wanted to.
Man, did you just misgender me?
What was going on?
All right, fair enough. Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate it. That was nice. Really quick, I'm gonna ask that everybody who is in the requests is over the age of 18 and is disagreeing with me. I would appreciate it. I see a lot of people talking about the 4B in the comments, and that's been going on a bunch. And I see a lot of people asking about my gender and asking about my sex and everything like that. And I want to clarify it again. I clarified it with the very first guest that came on, but I was born a female and I identify as a woman today. I go by she, her pronouns. I just have short hair and
what's 4B?
I just have short hair, and that's it. I am simply a woman with short hair. That's all. To a straight dude. Like, I don't even know
That's
what else
funny.
to say
That's
about
really
that.
funny. Let me in. Let me in. Me.
Anyways.
Me.
Anyways. On to the next.
Fine,
Yes.
me.
Please make sure, again, if you're in the guest box, make sure that you are disagreeing with me.
Make sure your opposition.
Thank
Oh,
you.
wow.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. How old are you, really quick?
Oh man, I have to do that. 38.
Okay, if you have to think about it, you don't have to answer.
So yeah, I mean, I guess this I was on the fence on whether I should actually come up here because I do think that men and women need each other, but it's more of the complementary relationship that they require of each other, and I think, I mean, especially later in life, like when you look at, and I don't have necessarily evidence to back it up, but when you look at people later in life who are just, they're not in a relationship, they're not in a lasting relationship, they're lonely people, and they're often misguided. And I think that I don't think it's bad to say that women need men and men need women. I think it's a good thing that we're in that place in the world.
Yeah, I agree. Just not individualistically. Like, every single person is different, which is why I can't say all men need all women in reference to just one specific person. You know what I mean? Just individualistically. Within society, absolutely, we do need each other and we do complement each other. But a human being can exist without the presence of the opposite sex.
I think, yeah, but I think it would be a sad, lonely existence, don't you? Like, I mean,
No.
There's
Person can
outliers.
have friends. A person, well, yeah, a person can have friends, and a person can have, a same-sex relationship as well. They can have their family, they can have their friends, they can have their coworkers, they can have all of these different relationships outside of just the romantic. Although a lot of people want this, which is not exactly what I'm arguing. I am saying that we are capable of existing individualistically without the presence of the other. That is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that people want that. I'm saying that people don't exactly need that.
Oh, I think I understand what you're saying. Okay.
Okay.
Well, maybe I'll make room for someone else because I guess I kind of agree. I apologize. I didn't mean to waste any time.
No. You didn't waste any time, man. Actually, it helped me get out a little bit more of my thoughts there. I appreciate that.
Cool.
Do you have anything else you want to say?
No. Enjoy your live. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, that was really weird. I don't know. Like, again, why make that argument of duh? Like, duh. Some people aren't gonna like be. I don't know. It's again, these are like these weird gotcha lives that are like I don't know, man. I don't know. What is the point? Like, if anything, she's wasting everyone else's time. Bane Mailer says, exactly, a wife encourages her husband to do the necessary work to build a civilization while raising the next generation to do the same. Yeah, no, totally. And that's the thing is like, and like her argument her debate was only to like say people can exist on their own, which is silly because like, of course people can exist on their own. No one's going to die because they're alone. There's outlier cases of this. But like, I mean, but she was in agreement, like, oh yeah, we do, some men can, be required, like, okay, why this is totally, you're not describing your live in the right way then, because this is very strange. I wish it was easier to like make my own live. I'm no longer using trans woman. Trans identified male is accurate. Oh man, I do not want to be in that. That sounds awful. A lot of game streams that I don't want to see. I watch Ninja every now and then, but like, so every like I get like a lot of Fortnite streams all of a sudden. Oh, this is an interesting one. Why are you so determined to do what your God tells you to do? Interesting. Interesting. Should we join this one? There's only 12 people here. Let's listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you believe the people over there are the same people that were in the ancient Bible, or it's a whole different people?
It's not a belief, right? Kind of. Some are, some aren't.
Yeah, because that's
Genetic
kind
testing,
of what
we would know for sure.
yeah, that's
That's
what
my
I
clearest
believe.
answer.
Is I believe the people who are saying they are the people of the Bible, they're lying and they're not the people of the Bible. That's what I believe. And I believe the real people of the Bible got their identity and their heritage stolen. That's what I believe.
He's going in and out.
So, the Torah.
Damn, I can't hear him. Sheesh.
Oh, not that one. Yo, what up, Ark? Yeah, I'm not getting in there. It was just a bunch of people. Ask me why my stance is trans women are in fact women too. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let me just listen. Let's listen.
So right now, laws have been going in like crazy to go against the trans community. You can look at translegislation.org if you ever want to. One of the things is also like there's a lot of horrible rhetoric going in about like trans women using the bathrooms or not. Trans women are safer in a woman's bathroom, and it's because if I, let's be honest, when I'm like dressed like this, you know what I mean? Like when I'm dressed like this,
Barf.
I don't think I'm gonna be like okay and safe in a men's bathroom. And I had to learn that the hard way. I had several men, reveal parts to me. And that's at the point where I have to speak up and I have to go ahead and be a word for my trans community to make sure that those trans women that are undergoing their transition are going to be safe and they don't have to learn the way that I did.
Yeah, 100%. You're right. And one thing that I was thinking about was with respect to like the bathroom choices of what people use. I think personally that a lot of it comes to how you're perceiving yourself. Like for you, for example, it's like you're clearly showing yourself as female, and like that's I don't think I mean I wouldn't if I was a girl and I saw you in the women's bathroom, like I wouldn't even look twice. I was like, oh, it's a girl, like she's just in the bath. Even if I
Yeah, you spend a
knew
lot
that
of
you
time
were
in the girls'
trans or
bathroom.
something, like it just doesn't matter to me personally. It's like, all right, like this person clearly is is more comfortable this way. And like there's nothing wrong. I think the problem comes in when people are like clearly a man, like not even attempting to like to show themselves as more feminine or like anything like that, and they're just like going into the woman's bathroom, for example. I think
Well, that we got to be cautious with because passing and passability is very subjective. Everybody's expression is different. There's cisgender women who present masculine and often get mistaken for men, but that's just their presentation. They're still women, so they should go in the women's room.
yeah,
Yes,
no,
and
I don't know, man. I just don't care for that discussion anymore. It's not going anywhere. I'm trying to see if there's another debate live. I mean, the honest to God truth is I don't care enough. I don't care enough to talk about it. No, no, it wasn't Static. It was someone else. It was it was like their guest. Six-week-old left alone for weekend, dies while mom goes clubbing. Wow. That's awful. Bro, what the fuck? I'm looking. Oh, dude, this fucking user. Yeah, I don't really care. I don't really know or care anymore about most of that debate. The red pill problem. Warning, consuming the substance will lead to toxic ideology. What? Let's listen to this.
He can't come up gaslight.
Okay. You don't have enough friends?
Nah, he don't. Red, can you please enlighten Hazen on the NPC?
Non-playable character.
NPC. I actually don't know. I'm thinking like, what does that mean? I don't know what it.
Yes, it's a bot. It's type of a bot type of thing. Yeah, Billy Go says it's non-playable character.
But
Just
Oh, of course. Sorry, of course they would be freaking gamers as well. Of course they would be gamers. Damn.
Why would you degrade somebody to call them that? Hey, you're a bot. You don't have a mind of your own. You don't have a wheel, or you're just a bot. You don't really matter. That's really degrading.
What's wrong with red pilling?
Yeah, it's just like one of the important side characters in a game.
Well, to me, that's telling on themselves. See, I'm not a gamer. That's why I didn't know what that meant, right? But it's like that's telling on themselves. It's like, oh, they're just an NPC. It's like, dude, you're just a gamer. That means you just, you sit at your screen,
gamer,
right? And you just play games like a freaking child, right? So you're just telling on yourself. So I appreciate that bit of education
because two things can't be true at the same
that's
time,
a red
right?
flag right there.
So let me point out bearded King. He calls us a kid. Yeah, as you can tell, this is what we were speaking on earlier about the adolescents that like to call people names. They can't have an honest conversation. They like to do these things in the comments and act like it's a flex or something. Bearded King, I would like you to please see that you're in a room or on a live in the chat, and you don't even have enough people on your account to even come up and speak. But yet and still you're in the chat. You can't even get in. You can't even get in the club. But you're gonna sit here and call people names because you can't have an honest conversation. That sounds like a you problem and not an us problem.
You guys are fucking cringe.
So please move on.
I requested to join.
Being held accountable on your bullshit.
Administrative moment. Tap the like if you want to send gifts. Go over to West 4B and send gifts over there. Don't send anything here. Okay? Just tap the live. We're not asking for anything. Just tap the live. Flip the turtle. Okay?
Absolutely.
Send some shares. Share it with some red pills. Tell them to come over here and have talk with real men.
Hazen, I think I cut you off earlier. I apologize. But please go ahead.
Are you good? I had enough.
I guess so, Static.
So actually, I mean, yeah, it's like I'm glad that guy came up because he demonstrated everything we were talking about, right? The fragility, and frankly, the paranoia, and what gets me about what I
The funny thing is, I don't know, man. I don't know if these guys are trolling or what, but yeah, they seem like, so TikTok, I think you need a certain, I think you need like 100 followers to join lives. I think.
right have all your worth about your possessions and your I don't
Maybe
know
even less.
and whatever money you claim to be making per year. What is that all about?
They got to have a value to themselves. So these are the things that gives them value so that they can project value on women. So they got to have certain status
Everything has
that
value,
they need to
dumbass.
achieve before they can kind of blatantly say, hey, what do you bring to the table when they're talking to women? What value do you have? Oh, do you have kids? Okay, so that's gonna, so that's the first thing that came out his mouth when he came up. It's all about value, and that's what they had to achieve this thing. But the silly thing about it is,
it seems like these guys don't even fully understand the red pill, like blue pill debate and like how it all like works. Like I think both sides have kind of gotten it wrong over the years, but to me it's just always been the sort of like drawing back to Neo and waking up from the Matrix being some manufactured reality, and then the red pill being like, oh, like we're getting doses of real reality, and it's been jarring, and now we're sort of thrust back into this place that we're not comfortable with. We're trying to find our place and navigate. Right, exactly.
And I appreciate you bringing up the that whole thing, Gaslight, about like bearded kid. It's like I don't know. This is just my opinion, but it's like the whole thing about beards becoming popular. It's like, yeah, you know why? Because that's the only way now that's left to you guys to show that you're men, right?
Right.
You don't show it any other way. So you're gonna you're gonna grow your beard out, and that's the only thing you have to show that you somehow you're a man now. It's just like I think, yeah, no.
You nailed that one, Red. You're so right.
half of the things that they use as some kind of identity is shit I would just don't even think about. Beard. Like, yeah, I got a beard. I don't give a shit. It's a beard,
Yeah. The shit grows out your chin, it just it happens.
Yo.
Shape it up, man. No, but
why these motherfuckers, bro?
This is their whole life. Everything flows around their beard, I've seen them,
Well, so basically, the red pill movement is just it's just narcissism repackaged. That's how I see it. It's just complete self-involvement. It's just, it's
So-
masturbation repackaged.
Well, do you know what the red pill movement is? You guys, it sounds like you guys don't really understand what it is.
Well, please enlighten us, since we're just idiots sitting up here.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I did not say that.
I've done zero research on it. Please enlighten us, man. We're such idiots here. The floor is yours.
Well, do you know where it comes from, right? You know where the whole thing spawns from? Red pill, blue pill?
You're not going to ask us any questions about where, how. No, we're going to sit down at your feet, Mr. Professor, and you're going to tell us exactly what it's all about.
Damn. You were just saying the other guy was like bad faith for saying shit in chat, and now you guys are doing the same shit.
Get out of your feelings. This is your moment.
What?
To teach somebody something. This is your moment to teach us.
Just break it down.
This is your moment.
What?
Just break it down, Shaggy.
Break it down, bro.
Oh my god. What?
Who's acting like a bitch right now?
What, dude?
And who's acting like a
Break
little
it
bitch
down,
right
man.
now?
We're waiting.
Do you want the big screen so we can?
Yeah, give me the big screen.
Okay. Sorry, man.
Not on
Dude,
my
I didn't realize it was a comedy stream. So I mean, I think your concerns are valid with with previous guests or whatever. Like I come across people like that all the time. But I think the bigger thing with red pilling is I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing, because people have felt that over, let's say the past 10 years or so, that they've been like living in this sort of alternate reality, the matrix, that again, the blue pill, red pill thing. And the red pilling thing, I don't think it's intrinsically bad, because they feel like they're getting doses of reality, and it's pulling them back away from things they thought were true. Evidence of things that, like, oh, hey, like I was told that this was right. And it's like, it's plain as day, like whether it's a clickbait headline in a news article or whatever. Now I don't disagree. I think the red pill in some respects has gone far. I think Fresh and Fit, those guys are clowns. I think Pearly Things I think she's an idiot. But like, I wouldn't say it's a problem overall. I think it's important that people get brought back to reality and understand that they've been played in a lot of ways. And like, especially when it comes to like media shit. Like media has come out like aggressively in the past year saying, yeah, we pretty much lied to you. We told you all this shit. It was fake. And sorry about that. So, I mean, people's questioning the reality isn't a bad thing. And I think everyone should be doing
so
it.
I give you 2 minutes. I give you 2 minutes to talk about generalities. Now drill down a little deeper on the specifics.
Well, recently, some people from NPR, there was an interview done with Barry Weiss on the Free Press. He came out and discussed how when Trump was elected, they knew that that whatever evidence they had of Trump being tied to Russia collusion and all that stuff was so thin, but it was so popular that they ran with it anyway, because they're basically running with Adam Schiff, and he was like their boy. They were just sort of propping up anything he said. I mean, they did stuff with COVID as well. They exaggerated things on COVID. I'm not like so extreme on that stuff, but there's instances of that. But a lot of the stuff was centered around Trump. Like if I were to say I was red pilled, like it was because I was lied to about the things that Trump was involved in, what he said, and it just sort of trickled down from there.
So tell us, I mean, give us your, I mean, if you had 30 seconds to tell us exactly what red pill, because you haven't done that yet. Summarize in 30 seconds what red pill is.
Red pilled means that you've been exposed to ideas outside of what has been told as the norm, and it is pulled you back to reality.
Okay.
Mhm.
Specifically what?
Like any of those, like, so again, so the most specific example I can give you of like me being red pilled was Trump's talk about being oh my god, now I can't even think of it, when he was talking about how there was very fine people on both sides. That whole speech, that was totally edited out of context. But the full quote was, and I think everyone should know this at this point, is that there is good people on both sides. I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis. They should be condemned totally. Like, he totally condemned them, and the news ran with the story that he was sympathizing with them. And that was, like, to me, it was like, holy shit, they just blatantly lied and made him look like he was actually saying, oh, they're good people, when he didn't say that.
Red, do you have anything? Because I got nothing.
Yeah, no, So actually, I mean, and Lo, I want to respect your space. I don't want to take this in a political direction if you don't want to take it there. But the fact remains, Shaggy, that what he was talking about good people who were walking through the streets of Charlottesville, saying Jews will not replace us.
Yeah, that's not how he was. And I just said.
There's no walking that back.
Yeah, but you didn't listen to the whole thing I said.
Yes, I did. And I saw the speech when he did it. I know what you're talking about, but unfortunately, his qualifier doesn't qualify.
Why?
Okay, because he was talking about people who basically had a racist march.
No, not.
And he's talking about people who ran over a a young woman.
No, no,
Unalived a young woman.
no. You made
So
that up.
Shaggy, I got a question for you, Shaggy.
Yeah, go ahead.
A quick question.
Go ahead.
Shaggy.
Yep.
Just imagine you were there. Just imagine you were there walking down the street, and all of a sudden, some guys with some tiki torches just started walking around and saying, blah 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 will not replace us. What would you have done? No. Let me say it this way. What did the people do when they saw these people, the good people? What did the good people do when they saw these bad people walking down the street with tiki torches? What did the good people do?
I don't know, but I think everyone acknowledged that those.
Let me
Go
answer
ahead.
the question
Yeah.
for you. They did absolutely nothing.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Nothing.
Yeah, I wasn't there, so I don't know.
They did absolutely nothing. So
Did you go?
The good people still good?
Did you go?
People? Does that make the good people?
No,
still
because I
good
think there
people?
was like a riot there. Weren't there people pushing back against that crowd, especially when that poor
No,
woman
there
was
not.
run over?
There was not.
Oh, there. Oh,
No,
okay.
it
I didn't
was
know
not.
that. Okay.
Those people who were pushing back were the people who were in opposition of their views, not the same people that, hey, we agree on 50% of this, but we don't like what you're doing. It's same thing like you walking around with Fresh and Fit.
I don't listen to them. I made fun of them.
No. I'm just giving the analogy of who you are. The red pill is, let's just say, red pill is Republican values, right? And let's just say that you're a Republican and you like Republican values, right? But you got Fresh and Fit coming over here, the radical part of the Republican Party, and you are the good person of that party, and you do nothing about it. That is the equivalent of you being a red pill, which you consider the good parts of it, still letting these idiots, Fresh and Fit, still cohabitate with you, still being in your space, still using your terminology, your using your classifications as red pill, and you're doing absolutely nothing about keeping your space clean.
No, well, if I can respond, there is such a thing called free speech. So people are allowed to exercise that speech, even if I don't like it.
You have free speech too.
Yeah, of course. I didn't say you couldn't.
You have free speech to come against it.
Yeah, of course. I do. I talk badly about Fresh and Fit all the time. Huh?
You don't.
How do you know? You don't know me.
Because they still exist.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, but yes, because they make shitloads of money. I can disagree with them and say they're a bunch of clowns, and say people don't follow them because I think they're false gods. Like they're awful.
You only do it in this space. You only do it in this space. That's why they still exist.
What am I supposed to, what would be your solution to it? What would someone like me do to get rid of them?
Hey guys, let's go to where the good part of the red pill society that teaches people some good things about themselves, and let's go cut these people out of our picture because they're giving us a bad look.
What is cut?
Let's just focus on ourselves because this has done so much good for us. We cannot be rolled in together with these poisoned people over here that's giving us a bad look. We need to keep this thing going for us because it's done so much for me.
I do this all the time.
Make sure that this thing keeps a good look.
I do this.
A good face.
Yeah.
But what are you doing? You're letting the face of it go to crap. And that's why we're here today with this red, attention getting looks of these pills sitting out here to show you just how toxic this red pill movement has become.
I think part of the red pill reality here is telling people that Fresh and Fit are a bunch of frauds. They do the same thing. They do the same thing the other side does. Again, you don't know me. You don't know what I do. My TikTok feed is not indicative of anything that I do online. I spend a lot of time. Listen. Let me just respond. I spend a lot of time.
I just want to make a quick clarification. When I say you, I'm not speaking to you. I'm talking to the pejorative you, the people who are just like you in the same position and mindset as you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the totality of the people that are like you that's in this movement are doing absolutely nothing to clean it up.
I think there's a lot more people than you realize doing it. In the circles that I run in through YouTube, there's a lot of people speaking out about this who are rational. There's some who are more extreme than others, but there's a lot who spent their entire life identifying and voting Democrat, and now they won't, or they look at these candidates, whether it's political or otherwise, and think they're a bunch of frauds. And they condemn people like Fresh and Fit because they're bad for culture. They're bad for the broader culture of people, because ultimately red pilling is about waking up to reality, like what's actually happening all around you, not what some loser millionaire says from, his giant mansion. Um, but
Yeah, we know where it came from. We know where it came from. Yeah, it came from the alt right community that thinking that, hey, people are trying to take their dominance away from them, and they want you to think that, hey, somebody's taking your dominance away from you. And yeah, they're gonna give the pretty picture, hey, this is self-improvement. But behind the scenes, the real finesse is they want you to take your dominance back to the levels that it was before, because it's getting down to the point where things are getting kind of shaky, and hey, we need to pull off the sheep's clothing here and be the true wolves that we are.
So the shag,
yo,
real quick.
yep.
Go ahead, Red. Go ahead, Red.
So, well, I mean, yeah, I just wanted to ask. It's like, so because I have no problem with 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 being inquisitive about the world, right, and questioning, and questioning things that are presented to you. But it's like, but that's not what the red pill movement is really about. It claims to be about that, but where does the freaking hyper masculinity come from? Where what is the whole focus on on male dominance? Where does that why does it jump the rails into that?
I think it.
Because
Oh, sorry.
sorry, well, I mean, no, go ahead. I was basically finished. Go ahead.
I think it has to do with people jumping back to traditional like conservatism, and how like a lot of history has been led by men. I mean, it's not meant to put women down. It's just to say that in a lot of ways, men can be stronger than women physically. Um, Me personally, I just believe it's sort of a yin and yang thing. I think women and men come together to form a pretty awesome team, but men by and large have built the pillars of society in many ways. It's really hard to argue that. So I think it kind of harkens back to that, where these red pillars, mainly these big ones like Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit, and those guys will kind of push that message. I think if I were to guess, I would say the average like conservative is just sort of on the page of like, I'm going to take care of my family, pass down great values to my son or daughter, and so they can raise a good family and show them how to lead. And I'm also going to lead with my wife, who is a wonderful, awesome, powerful woman. Like it's easy to say that all these red pillars are saying, fuck everyone, men are these um, super strong, like that's all we need to do, and just kind of like push everyone over and be bullies. Like it's a little bit of everything. And I don't think I think internet culture and TikTok culture has made it so we don't see the nuance in all these things that we say. Because I do believe that it is important to be strong. It is important to be formidable, protect your family, be an alpha to some extent, but also we need to respect, the boundaries of others, and, the people we love. And like I said, pass on good values.
So let me let me ask you about that. You just said be an alpha. So when you say that, can you break that down for me? What is it when you say be an alpha? What do you mean by that?
Be a leader, be someone who's willing to step up when you need to, and not sit back and wait for things to just sort of come. Um, you,
And
you
you understand what? Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, that was it. That was good. You're good.
So but do you want you know about where that term came from, right? Out about being an alpha. You know where that came. You know where that came from, correct?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it spawns from like the animal kingdom. You know, I don't see.
Right. It came. It came about in the early '70s from a guy observing wolf packs, and then he spent the rest of his career debunking that because he found that later that's not how wolf packs behave at all. Wolf packs are simply just family groups, and there is no alpha in the group. It's just based on who's the older wolf, right? That's leading. It's usually a parent, grandparents, that kind of thing. And he has spent the rest of his career trying to debunk that because he let loose something on popular culture that, in his own words, did nothing but damage. So I invite you to possibly re-examine that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem
So
looking that over. That's I mean, that's fine. I mean, I don't it's not a but I don't think it's harmful to say that to anyone and to be if we're going to use the term alpha male or whatever, I don't find it to be bad. It is good to be assertive. It is good, but it's also good to know your boundaries, right? Again, this is the stuff I'm talking about with like understanding like a little bit of nuance with all of it. Um, it's good to know when to be the alpha. It's good to know when to take your turn. Maybe you could say when to be the beta, whatever. If you want to use those terms. But like I don't find an issue with that because it's knowing how to carry yourself in certain situations. That hardly seems controversial to me.
Okay, Shag. So with all that being said,
Hmm.
what does all of what you said have to do what with how women are being treated in society today?
Well, I don't think there's probably been a better time for women to exist, quite honestly. But I don't know. What are you speaking to specifically?
Oh,
Well, I'm
wait,
speaking.
whoa. Just a quick second. I'd love for, when you make a statement, at least do a drill down on why you said what you just said. You said this is the best time for a woman. Kind of explain why you say that.
Well, there's never been more opportunities for men and women. I mean, when it comes to equal rights, suffrage, all that stuff is like, I mean, women have the right to vote. They are making just as much as men. There's so many career opportunities now. There's DEI initiatives to get them hired over other demographics. Like, I mean, quite honestly, like like I said, it's one of the better times to be a woman, I think.
there's that, gentlemen, there's that information again that women, there's that misinformation that women are making just as much as men. That is not true. That is not true at all. Forbes confirms that women on average make 16% less than men.
If you
They're
take,
they're they're sorry, 1 second, but it's
you're
like,
good.
and just like it's like women are not in the they're not in the corporate hierarchy. There's definitely a dirt, so
There
it's
might be
not,
a
it
reason
is
for
not
that.
equal. It's
Why?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, you could pull women on why that is. But when you but when you
Patriarchy, yeah,
listen,
but anything else
real
that
quick, can I respond to
anything else that's
let me just respond to what he said about income. So when you break down average like wage, they've already debunked this, by the way. When you break down the average wage of men and women, you do get a disparity, but that's not what we're talking about. When you take pound for pound job and qualification, they are paid nearly the same. Like it's within pennies. Like it's not, it's negligible, the difference. But if you take average, then yes, because men and women do different jobs. That's why.
Okay, so hold on,
Mhm.
before we even go any further, because I'm gonna bring this same question to sets Shag Shags
Yeah.
as I brought to the man's world. Shags,
Yeah.
what is the percentage of women in the top? I'm gonna say top 500 Forbes list. What are the percentage of the
Oh,
women
I'm sure
that
it's
are in
so
these
low.
board?
I'm sure it's so low. I don't
So
don't
then
even know, maybe
again,
5%.
how? Okay, so then again, how is it equal or even coming to the same level as the men?
Are they, but are equal amounts of women going for those jobs is the question. You know what I mean? Like, so
Okay,
it could come down to
okay,
it.
but are
It's the glass ceiling. It's the titanium
No,
ceiling.
no.
Do you think no woman aspires to be a board member or a CEO
I'm sure there's some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're
right?
not given the opportunity
There
because it's
is
just a
no,
white
there is the
TV world up
opportunity.
there.
There is the
It's a
There is
opportunity.
the
white
opportunity,
teenage
but it's
world up
not
there,
being given
sir.
to them. It's
I'm
given
sorry,
to
that was
lesser people,
No,
I'm
and that's
sorry, that
men.
was funny. I'm sure there's some. I'm sure
there are.
that was funny. Well, it's just the way you said it. It's like, yeah, I'm sure there are some women who want to, who would like a golden parachute and, and would like the pay raise. Some.
Oh, I can't hear him.
And the fact that there aren't all of them that aspire that is just because of the mental finesse that's been put on people. Where hey, everyone, well, most women out there say, hey, yeah, when I go go and take a walk by the boardroom during their meetings, I see this big sea of white men. Yeah, I don't think my chances are good there. So they may not put forth the energy to try to get there. But if they saw a nice sizable number of diversity inside of those boardrooms, maybe they would have the motivation to pursue it hard. But do you see the mental finesse that happens when people see these pictures, right? The pictures in their head when they see, on the Senate floor or in the House or wherever, they see this big sea of white men. What thoughts will you get if you're a minority or someone who's not in that group? What's going to be your thought when you see that?
So you don't want it. I guess it sounds like the woman or you don't want the job because there might be something in your way. I don't understand your argument now. Like, if you want something, you want it and you go for it. You don't let things like, oh, there happens to be men in a room. Like, that's nothing.
So basically you're saying right now, Shags, is that women don't want to be in these positions.
Yes, I think that a lot of times
I have yet to hear you say that men are not allowing them to get into these positions.
I don't think that's the case. Men are not allowing them. I don't know. I don't think that's happening. It's not to say that it doesn't happen. I'm sure there are some really like assholes out there who are, that don't.
Here we go with that. Hey, Red, there it is again.
What?
Yeah, there it is again. But no,
there's what? Can you drill down on that for me? There's what?
So that misinformation, Shags. Well, let me ask you something. You said you don't.
Wait. What misinformation?
You said, no.
Let's finish Let's finish what your thought. What's being?
I agree. Let's finish this. So,
okay.
So you said that you don't believe there are women going for those positions. Am I correct?
Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, what's her name? Kathleen Kennedy runs Disney right now. So I don't know what the hell any of you or Star Wars at Disney. So I mean, and there's another. What's her name? The Acolyte is another woman showrunner.
Why do you bring her up?
Because it's a woman in a very, very powerful position. She's running an entire
one out of how many companies?
No, well, wait a minute. No,
one of the biggest companies on the planet.
Right. So, but it's interesting you bring her up.
Well,
so
she's not valuable, apparently.
What's that?
It doesn't seem like that woman's important enough to talk about.
But the reason, you brought her up. So what's your opinion about her?
Kathleen Kennedy? I don't like what she's done to the franchise. The decisions they've made, I think, have really cost Star Wars a lot. I think the narrative storytelling is awful, unfortunately. I think they're just trying to put out product.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, yeah,
and
I mean, that's
yeah. So no, that's that. I'm clocking you. I'm clocking with that. So yeah. So do you think So do you think if Lucas had maintained control over the franchise, do you think that franchise would be anywhere now?
I don't know. It's hard to do that
The answer
hypothetical
is no.
because
The answer is actually no, because if you follow this, because I'm a geek like that,
right.
Lucas was actually was going to leave the franchise. All the things you have, this franchise has never been more vibrant, than right now, because of Kathleen Kennedy, because of
vibrant.
Disney.
That part.
You think it's excellent?
It's never been more active. It's never been more active, vibrant, alive.
Just because I take lots of shits doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah,
it actually does.
And guys, this is the reason why. Guys, this is the reason why I'm going down this track.
Yeah.
This franchise that he's mentioning is a big hub for red pillars, right? And toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity?
This particular franchise is a huge hub for toxic masculinity.
Really?
Right?
You know how many women I know who hate
because
modern Star Wars? They think it's patronizing and stupid.
No.
Women do. Women.
The reason why you hate it, Shagsworth, is because you're afraid of a female lead character who doesn't need a man to come and rescue her.
What notes
That's
are you reading off
exactly
of,
what
dude?
it
Are
is.
you have someone's shit
That's
Twitter stream up
exactly
or
what it
something?
is.
What in the hell?
No, that's exactly what it is.
No, it's
Right?
not. Because there's been strong
here's the thing.
females in
So to get
cinema,
back to my point,
like
to get
throughout
back to my
history.
point, Shagsworth, you mentioned that women don't want those jobs. What are you basing that on? Like what factual information are you basing that on?
Yeah.
the same. I don't know, man. There's.
I'll take that as you have none.
I don't have the source in front of me. You're right. Just like
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, you have none.
You're right.
There is none.
You're right. You got me.
You have
The
none.
only source
There
is
is none.
the only source is something that you're going to pull out of your butt. That's it.
That's right. That's just you. That's just you and the red pill movement. You have no evidence to back that claim up.
Women don't work
Nothing.
the jobs, man. They're doing other jobs. They're in other aspects of the
Okay, all right,
workforce.
all right,
Again, it doesn't
Shags,
mean
I see.
mean they don't want to aspire to that.
Shags, hold on,
Yeah.
hold on,
Go ahead.
real quick. I need to do some administrative work. Please, if you're liking what you're hearing, tap the screen. Just tap, tap, tap. Also, Gaslight, real quick. How am I able? It's not allowing me to add other people to the conversation. It's not. It won't like. I want Rocksteady to come up here, and maybe other men to come up.
Actually, Lo,
But
I
it's-
need to drop down so I can make room.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not allowing me to add more people. I think I can. Wait a minute. It's allowing me to add women, but it won't allow me to add men. That's funny. I don't see any.
Well,
I don't see any. I'm
well,
guessing it might be time to allow the women to come up. I'm guessing. Is this what TikTok
hey,
is
they're
telling
on
you?
the front lines. They're on the front lines. They're at ground zero of all this. Let's hear from them.
Because I just went through the list and I don't see half the men that I see in the comments on the queue or list, but I'm seeing all the women. So I might have to get a couple women to come up here.
I would hope he brings a couple women up here. He
Because
keeps talking about how great women are and how they want all these positions.
Oh, there's Nacho. Okay, Nacho Duke can come up. Thank you, Nacho Duke, for doing that. Rocksteady, if you can, request to come up, please.
Hey, so gentlemen, I need to drop. But Shagsworth, I just want to say I do appreciate you being up here, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for letting me come up. Yeah.
Yes, the Shags. Yes, I appreciate you for being. I appreciate you for not getting over emotional and not being able to talk and handle the questions that are being thrown at you. I appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming up here.
Have a good day.
I know these talks. Thank you, Red. Red, thank you. And I'll be sending you a message soon. I just want to say, okay, so to everybody, I want to do this real quick. To everybody that's here, thank you for coming in. Thank you for being here and listening. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate the ladies that are coming in and having questions in the comments. Today, I'm trying to keep it about, about the men and how we can have like some kind of conversation. These things can get frustrating and we need to hash these things out. And this is what I want to do. This is what Gaslight I know he wants to do. He wants to talk with men just to get an idea of where they're coming from, why they're so stuck with not listening to women, not hearing them out, downplaying them, being violent, not allowing them to speak, and all of that good stuff. So I really appreciate you guys for being here. Rocksteady, please, if you're in the queue, Billy Goat, thank you for coming up. Nacho, I'll get you up here too.
Yo,
Nacho,
what's up? What's up?
what say you?
I want to know what the red pill theory is. I'm not sure if I just keep hearing like a lot of conspiracies. Really, I don't know what it actually is.
Well, tell us what you've heard so far.
I just keep hearing a lot of conspiracy theories like defending Trump. Really, so that's why I don't really know what it is.
I'm muted right now.
It feels like it's geared towards a political thing, but like I said, I don't know what it is. I'm confused.
Well,
okay,
have you seen the movie Matrix?
Yeah, I know. I've seen the movie Matrix, but like, I get that they're trying to say that there's like a lot of false reality and stuff, but like, it just feels like it's geared towards a political end. Like they're trying to unprove or disprove a lot of things that have been proven.
So number one, you can when you get a chance, you can go look up Andrew Tate and see what he's talking about as far as red pill is concerned. If you've seen the movie The Matrix, if you haven't seen it, I suggest you go watch the very first one.
No, I've seen the Matrix. I've seen all of them.
So then you know what Morpheus is talking about when he's talking about the red pill and the blue pill. One you take to stay to get out, one you take to stay in. So what happened was that there's men out here using that as if it's going to help them be a stronger, from what I'm getting, it's helping them be stronger in themselves, but also what's happening is they're downing women in the same sense.
It doesn't feel like they're just downing women either. It feels like they're downing women that even try to like speak up for women.
Right.
What do they call them? Like NPCs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that beneficial though? Because like you need a woman to procreate. So how would downplaying a vital role in procreation benefiting?
Red pillars aren't doing that.
Nacho, Nacho, you're asking too many sensible questions. You need to quit that.
I'm sorry,
but no person that
I'll try to dumb myself.
No person that I know who consider themselves like right wing conservative, red pill or whatever is downplaying the role of women. If anything, a lot of them are celebrating what it is to be a woman and or like just being.
No, I'm sorry.
Right wings aren't downplaying women.
I have to disagree with.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying. What?
I have to disagree. Hold on, everybody. I have to disagree with you, Shags. The reason why I'm disagreeing with you is I didn't really want to make this political or talk political. I didn't even want to bring Trump into this because I don't like speaking about him. He's a very sensitive issue for me. I don't like him, so that's just that.
I feel that.
But in the sense of Roe v. Wade, being overturned, Shags, how do you feel about that?
I think that the idea of getting the government out of decisions is a smart idea. Returning power to the states to make their own choices in the matter is much more sensible. So what they do with that is up to them. I don't necessarily just agree with the recent legislation. I think it was in Alabama. I think went way too far. But again, the federal government should not be stepping in on your behalf to tell you like how to live your life. If the state is a totally different thing. The federal government has way too much power, so I'm all for limiting
Why
that
is
power.
the state different than the government?
Okay, hold on.
Because the state is it is different. It's a better representation of what of.
So you feel Shags, you feel it's okay to control what women do with their bodies?
No, who said that?
You did.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
So basically, hold on. Basically, you went saying from the federal, saying the federal shouldn't have control to the state having some control.
Well, no, they should.
Why should the state have control? Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold
go.
on.
Yeah,
Why
sorry.
should the state have any control over a woman's body?
Well, no one's controlling the woman's body. They're protecting. What?
Stop. Let's stop there.
Do you want me
I'm
to?
sorry,
So
but
you don't
I
want me
have
to
cut
answer?
you off with the fact that Roe v. Wade was overturned.
Right.
The fact that Roe v. Wade was overturned.
So
That
here's
in and of itself.
let me really break down because this is
the fact
turning.
that my little sister, hang on, because the fact that my little sister had to carry her dead son in her stomach until term, because we live here in Texas. I mean that kind of disproves everything that you're talking about, man.
I don't know anything about your family. That sounds awful. Hopefully your dad got what he deserved. Hopefully they shot him into the sun.
Oh, really? My dad. So you
isn't that what you just said? Didn't you say you carried your dad's? Didn't you say your sister?
No, I said her dead baby. I said dead.
Oh, I thought you said your dad. Okay, I thought you were saying something else, bro. Relax.
We gotta say, hey, Nacho, we gotta use unalive. Okay, don't get me banned.
Unalive. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
unalive.
I did. So that was two things that was really confusing.
I got a little triggered there. That's my fault. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm trying to talk about this sensibly. I just like so. I don't know anything about that specific situation, and I don't know much about Texas. What I can say is that there should be no control over anyone's body. When it comes to the pro-life argument, I am of the opinion that government should not be involved with it, and that people should start understanding that from the very first moment of fertilization, that is a person that will become a person. And if I think people followed that logic, we would have a much different society. It's a cultural issue that we are.
So that's not where I wanted to go with this. Okay, because we're still speaking on women's bodies, and we shouldn't be. Point blank and period. We should not be.
Well, I don't.
Should not be speaking on what. Oh, no.
Okay.
We should not be speaking on what someone can do with their body. Period. It doesn't matter from conception to up to 3-4 months, whatever. It doesn't matter. We should not be speaking on the woman's choice to do whatever they want with their body.
What am I?
Period.
Okay. What am I?
It's done. No. No. I'm not doing this no more. We're not speaking on that.
Oh, okay.
I'm done with that conversation. Right. We're not speaking on women's bodies. They should have total control of whatever they want to do with their body.
Can I change the topic?
Yeah, fine.
Yes.
Shag, you said something earlier. You were saying that being an alpha male and take care of your family and blah blah blah.
Sure.
What's the women role in a marriage?
I don't know if you could like really classify the mother. So I heard something recently that summarized this so well. I think the mother's job in the family is the nurturer. They're the inward facing with the child. They are there to provide sustenance, to nurture them, to make them feel comfort. And I think the dad's role is very similar in that it requires them to be the alpha in that they are also nurturers, but in a different way. They are an outward facing nurturer. So they are there to point the kids at the world and let them know this is what the world looks like. It is tough. It is dangerous, but we are here to protect you. And it kind of goes circular like that, like where the mom comes back, dad comes back. It both play on each other really symbiotically.
I'm sorry, but that's not even what he asked. He asked about the dynamic between a husband and a wife. What is the wife's job? He didn't ask about children.
Well, I know what
mothers or fathers. You don't have to be a mother or a father to be a wife and a husband.
True.
So what is the role of the woman in the
I think it just depends.
In the marriage.
I think it just depends. It depends on those two people. I think by and large, I think many times over 50% of the time, the wife is sort of she kind of defaults to this sort of traditional role of, caring for the home. Maybe she takes care of the bills. and then the dad is doing, he's going out and maybe working a more manual labor job, staying out a little bit later. But it's not always the case. I mean, but I would say a lot of times that is what the role is. And I don't think that's bad at all. I wouldn't look down on anyone for doing that role or even having them flip flop.
So if you, let's say are you married?
Yes, I am. 2 kids.
So could you kind of describe your relationship with your wife or what y'all try to practice?
We do, like, we have 2 kids, so it's kind of harder to, we kind of practice what I was saying, like she manages like money and stuff. And I do project management for a construction company. So I'm out. Currently my schedule requires me to be home a little bit earlier. So I have to like get the kids and stuff like that. But it's a very symbiotic kind of balanced relationship that we have. Both of us are pretty hard-headed at times. So I think we both have that like alpha personality.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much our dynamic.
Okay, yeah, just curious.
Yeah. That's what I do think too, that there's so many different variables in how couples can act and how they can be like together. And even within that, so I don't think there's any one right way, but I think there is a dynamic that works pretty well. But I think having a partner, one that complements you, is super important.
Where do you think those gender roles come from?
I just think, through history, being where we came from, men being just a little bit, physically stronger most of the time, not always, most of the time, just sort of required that. And I think we always sought out that mate. We always sought out someone that we knew could complement us, that could make us stronger, that could make our gene pool better. I think we've done a poor job at that, and I don't know if it's anyone's fault other than advancements in technology that made connection easier. Whereas before, you either found that person and procreated, or you died out and your genes did not pass on. So I just think it was a product of where we've been in the past and the hardships we've had to overcome.
So a relationship is the most important thing is procreation. Is that what you believe?
Well, if you want your family lineage to go on, yeah. I think it gives humans purpose, mammals purpose. It gives us, like, what are we here to do? Well, like, I could just live my whole life by myself and do whatever the heck I want, go to Vegas every weekend and have fun. Or I could choose that difficult path of having a family and impart values on a child, teach them things that I believe are important, and they can do that to their face. On it goes. Every single person here in this live is a product of struggle, is a product of hardship that overcame generations, farther back than we can even fathom. So that says a lot. And I think upholding that and teaching kids the value in that is the purpose of life as a person, like what I should be doing as a couple. You could do it. You could live your whole life as without doing all that. But I think you would be at the end, you would be sad. Very, very sad.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Do you have kids?
I have a stepson.
Yeah. See, when you have biological children, I think it's different. I think you see when it's yours, it's a totally different scenario. But I'm sure you can still appreciate, passing on something to someone else.
The question that I ask you is, I was kind of looking from where these values come from as far as gender roles, and what the path that I wanted to lead on that is, where's the genesis of it, the path that told you, or that gives you the normality that men are leaders of the family, that men are somewhat the decision makers, and the men are somewhat a step above the woman, and the fact that she is quote unquote the giver of life, and all of the things that she does. How does that bode well with the gender roles and just the family nuclear structure that we have today? And with all that being said, why does society continue to do this downward spiral if this is a good model to go with?
I think I think it spawns back to, like I said, the beginning of time. I think for a very, very long part of our history, men have protected women because they are the ones that give life. And by and large,
Protected them from who? And what?
From other violent people, from wild animals. I mean, we've lived always in a violent
What's so
society.
hard with Shags? What's so hard with you saying other men?
Well,
you keep skating over that being other men.
Okay, other men.
Because that's the only thing that women. That's the only thing that women need to be protected from is men.
No, other women. There's some pretty violent, shitty women out there too. I don't know if you know this.
Well, we're not on that, and we're not going to speak about that.
I wasn't speaking about it. You stopped me from my explanation to tell me that men were all bad.
Shags.
Weirdo.
I don't know about you, but I haven't protected anybody from those wild animals.
Hold on, guys.
No, but I was talking about. I was talking about.
That's where you're gonna go. So you're gonna play tit for tat. We're not gonna stick with just men, but because I said all men, now you're gonna try and bring women into it. Is that the conversation
you brought in?
have?
No, you're the one who wanted to clarify this. So I'm telling you, it's not all men. It's also women.
I didn't think so, because the one thing that I do know is that since men claim to run the world and are they've done most of the creating, they are the ones telling women what to do. Women aren't, the statistics don't say women are unaliving women. The statistic says men are unaliving women. So stop that.
All right.
Stop it.
Do you feel better now? Can I continue with what I was answering his question?
It's mainly men, sir.
With what I was answering his question. Wow.
It's mainly
what a fucking beta ass bitch just kicked me from the live. You just kicked me from the live. What a beta, dude. These guys are sitting there. And I can't, they're asking me to answer a question. Then the guy stops me mid sentence to put in his own editorial about how all men are bad. And then when I say, yeah, men are pretty shitty, but there's also some pretty shitty women out there too. Oh my God, there's the fucking line. There's the line. That was easily the most fun I've had on any live. 100%. 100% the most fun I've ever had on a live. Those fucking guys, those guys are the biggest fucking cucks I've ever come across in my life. Just trying to appease the 4 women that were in chat. And this is what I was going to say. Really, men have been there, and a lot of you guys understand what I'm saying. Men protected women because women bore children. They were literally protecting life. What? Dangers of the world. Doesn't matter what it was. Sure, men. We're protecting against men. One of the issues that we've come across in recent years with the advancement of technologies, I tried saying this in my spiel to them. Technology has made it really easy to connect with people. We don't have any sort of hardships to really continue those sort of classifications or roles. But now we can just connect with whoever. And there's this, we continue to talk about how or we continue to say life doesn't really matter. We shouldn't really follow religion. It's not important. Just do whatever you want. you don't want the child, get rid of it. Like, I think there is absolutely so many good things that come, well, A, from hardship. We're all a product of hardship. There, and you know, it sounds bad, but like, it's just, oh my God. I can't, sorry, work just texted me, so I'm just checking this real fast. These so-called men wouldn't have survived just, yo, I know. And then the guy I was like, do you have kids? And he goes, or what? I forget even how the whole thing went. But I said, do you have kids? And he goes, stepson. Oh, dude, don't sound so happy that you're taking care of a child. Sounds like you didn't really want that. Have fun raising another man's kid. People are weak. All those guys in there are weak. Yeah, and the further down the road we go, the purest speculators on the worst things I've gotten, non-Bible thumping, but it's a fact. Oh, I know. He totally was like, I have a stepson. And it's just not the same. Like, it's not to say, like, you can, there's great opportunities with having stepchildren, but you have to be all in. It is not the same, for sure. Like, having a genetic, physical connection with your child is totally different. But men, I think, do have the ability to really connect with their stepchildren, but they got to be all in. You can't, oh, yeah. Fucking Eeyore. He didn't ask you. He goes, he didn't ask you about, sorry, I hate when people say that. He didn't ask you about raising the kid, about dad, mom. He asks you about a mom or a husband and a wife. It's because he didn't actually raise his stepson and he has nothing to feel proud about. I've been talking with my now adult stepson all day. Yeah, like, I mean, it's, yeah, axe. Oh, you put an axe in the chat before too, I think. Didn't you? I saw an axe. Let me ask you this. Yeah. Fuck, dude. Yes. I am patient, but I'm sitting here just like, because they finally kind of stepped out of line at the end, and they kicked me. The only thing I can think of is these people know that they're wrong. They know they have no real ground to stand on. They're simping for women that will never give a fuck about them, and that's it. Done. I can't care anymore. Can't care anymore for that. I mean, I do care. But you didn't even want to raise that poor kid. What a deadbeat. Yeah, it certainly doesn't seem like it. It does not seem like it at all. Man. That was a good TikTok live stream. I thought it was not going to be that great today, but turned out we found that red pill. The red pill one. Yeah, they asked me for sources that none themselves. Yeah. I mean, don't get it twisted. When you go on these things, these people are, where's your source on that? Where's all your sources? And then when he asked me to like drill down on it, and I just fucking drill down. Okay, next. What else you got? And they start the whole thing by like, oh, well, you tell us. You folks tell us. Brr. Like, fam, I've been doing this longer than you. Don't come at me. You're obfuscating the need to be better men. Accountability is offensive. Oh, yeah. No, totally. Yeah, that whole discussion, I really wanted to talk to them more about, like the careers that women's have, because like nothing's stopping women from getting to these places. there's always exceptions to the rule. I'm not saying there's not. Is it intimidating to walk into a room full of men if you're a woman? Sure. It is absolutely intimidating for me to walk into a room sometimes with a room full of guys wearing suits. I don't wear suits like that. So when I walk in there, I'm like, oh shit, like this, I'm way out of my element. This is not, but that I'm not stopped. They're not holding me at the door saying, sorry, sir, you're not, the way you look. No. Next. And then when I talk about like Kathleen Kennedy or that other girl, that other woman running the Acolyte or whatever, nothing. Fuck cricket. Oh, well, that's not who we're talking about. Oh, you mean one of the biggest companies on the planet? But you're like there's other disparity. Like, let's talk about disparities. There's not enough Chinese representation in the NBA. There's not enough, like whatever. Like, there's, fuck, dude, it's crazy. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. Should we try and get into one more? What do you think? Should we try and do one more? That was that was a good one, but it was rough, if I'm being honest. That was rough. Hi, Sonia. Hi, King. Yeah, there's a lot of peeps in there, and they are just, I don't even know, man. It was brutal. Let's see if we can see any is this the live button now? Let me see if there's anything that's like piquing my interest here. I feel like my brain might hemorrhage if you do, but I'm morbidly curious as well. Yeah. This stuff just really interests me because I don't understand this way of thinking. I don't understand like how you can't like see what capitalism is not sustainable in a world with automation. Before you say it, neither is communism or socialism. This guy sound like
I don't think you know what automation is. If you are talking about the theoretical automata of the Greek god Hephaestus, I hate to tell you, but that was just a book. Rough. If you are confusing Leninism with core communism, then I don't know how to help you.
Boy. I don't think
Mike Talander, no automation sales pitches have come up short, and you need to stop listening to salespeople.
He's not accepting people to come up. Oh, there's lots of game streams. Lots of game streams. I'm not seeing a lot of debate streams. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. I'm an ex-Christian. Yep, I was a real Christian. I left after a decade of deconstruction, including a 5-year ministry. I don't know enough about that. Actually, yeah. Give me a good debate. Let's go. Give me something good. Give me something good. Red pill movements is rooted in deflection and projection. It allows men to not take any accountability for their behavior. Let's listen.
In the fact that I suck at multitasking and I think it's funny. I'm not self-deprecating. I'm not like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. That's self-deprecation. Me acknowledging that I'm not fucking good at multitasking and then laughing at a joke. Or I don't even think she was joking. That's the funny part. She was dead serious. She was deadly serious.
Gotta accept shit like you can't raise children well. Like, and you can't hear, you can't multitask. Damn.
Oh man, what up, E?
What up? How you doing?
Good.
You said something that just made me think about something I read the other day. But like, it's just interesting that people act like you can't critique something while still participating in it. Specifically capitalism. So we're talking about this like real wage gap and
Oh my God. I got
discriminations and things like that. And it's like we can call it out, talk about it. And the difference is we're forced to participate, right? Because we all got to work. We got to put food on the table. We got to have somewhere to live, blah, blah, blah. And it's like this gentleman, it's almost like he's like, just suck it up and deal with it. It's like, no.
Yeah.
No, we can
Yes.
talk shit about it while actively having jobs and being capitalists or whatever, because that's like, it's just weird that people act like you about it. So that's it. Just made me think of that.
That's facts. That's the shit that y'all think. Like, I'm an anti-capitalist, but I'm forced to participate in the system. I'm not a capitalist though, just because I work a job. I'm still not a capitalist. Anti-capitalist. I just work a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they'll be like, "Oh, that's funny. You're an anti-capitalist, but you got a job and you make money." I'm like, what is the alternative? What's my alternative? Like, do I have to
live in the forest?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. That's like saying that's like talking about fucking slaves and slaves like during slavery, they're still going to work, and then somebody coming to them and being like, just stop working. You hate slavery, just stop working. Like, how? If I say there's repercussions to me not working, there's like, what the fuck do you want me to do? I gotta work. I gotta make money. And I'm gonna hey, guess what? I'm also going to try to make as much money as I possibly can ethically. Because money is important.
Sounds like capitalism, baby. Woo!
Huh?
Sounds like capitalism.
No, capitalism is not rooted.
What? You mean people? There's people who practice unethical capitalism, is what you mean, right?
All capitalism is rooted. The concept of capitalism is rooted in it's unethical. It's unethical. It literally built into capitalism. There has to be a lower class of people, right? Everybody can't make enough money to survive. There has to be people that can barely make enough money to survive. That fucking can't survive. There has to be homeless people. There has to be a permanent underclass in capitalism for it to function. So capitalism is not ethical at all. The tenets of capitalism is not ethical.
That makes me think about once upon a time I worked for Whole Foods a time ago, but the owners at the time before they he wrote a book called and there were actually I could see like some points, but at the end of the day, it's that kind of thing where you definitely have to critically think, right? Like more to what you're saying, like the root and foundation of capitalism has no ethics, has no morals, has no regard for human life, right? So his
Well,
take on that was very but yeah, it makes me think about that book.
well,
That's
so
funny. I've heard about that book before, Conscious Capitalism. I never read it. I just thought the title is funny.
Right.
so in order for you to get rich, someone has to get poor. Is that the argument?
Yeah, that's how capitalism works.
How?
That's literally how capitalism.
So if I get rich, someone else is getting poor because how does that work? I don't understand.
Yeah. So capitalism is the thing about money is though you can print money, right? Like however we want to print money, but money is a finite thing in theory, right? Like there's not an infinite amount of money. There's
Right.
only so much money in circulation, right? Okay, cool. So if the top 1% control 90% of the money in the world, that only leaves 10% of the money for everybody else. So if you make if you get a lot of that money, right, or if you become a part of the top 1% and hoard the wealth, then you are extracting that money from somebody else. Also,
No.
typically for capitalists to get wealth, the vast majority of capitalists get wealth by stealing labor. That's how they get wealth. That's the number one way to get wealth, i.e. slavery, right? So that's what that's what was built on. Slavery. That's where it started, right? Or where it started, and then they implemented slavery because they wanted to maximize their profits because labor is the most expensive cost in business is labor.
It's
right?
one of.
So it's the most expensive.
No, it's one
Human
of.
capital.
Yeah.
What's more expensive than labor?
Just depends on what you're working in. Like
Name
there's
No,
controllable.
name it. Don't say it's one of. Name it. What is it?
Well, in a restaurant, you have your food costs and you have labor costs. Both of those are very large, and they're your two most control. Okay.
I promise you.
Trust me, bro.
More expensive than the labor. It's not. Trust me, bro. It's never.
Well, that's what you're saying. What I'm saying is your source is trust me. Like I said,
my source is.
But nobody's. Well, slavery doesn't exist. It does not exist in the United States. So no one's stealing labor. You're voluntarily going to a job.
Wait. Once again, trust me, bro. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Where is there slavery in the United States then?
In prison every day. Slave labor is in prison right now. Right now as we speak.
You're a felon. You lost all your rights.
Huh?
You're a felon. You lost all your rights.
Oh yes. So that's stupid. See what I'm saying? So
No, it's not. It's stupid that. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
First, you said slavery doesn't exist in America. I said it does. I said where? I said in prison, and then you said, oh, because they lost all their rights. But it still exists. The fuck are you talking about? You didn't even acknowledge it. You didn't say, oh, my bad. I didn't think about it. That's how I know you're being disingenuous. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, we're talking pound for pound, like.
That's an example of it.
Yeah.
There are other examples of it too, but that's one example.
What is it? I actually don't know. So maybe I would concede the point that prison labor is slave labor, but it's not.
It is slave labor.
Okay. What is the other version that is slavery? Because I'm not aware of these. I do. I'm asking the question. I thought you're running a live. I'm trying to figure it out.
Go look it up. Because there's other versions of slave labor in America, but that's one of them, right? So once again, and that's the biggest one. I went to the biggest one.
Yeah.
I went to the one that's fucking huge, right? And you didn't even acknowledge it. You just
I don't, but I still think you're wrong, and I could explain why if you'd like.
Okay, go ahead. Explain it to me.
Because if you're a felon and you're in prison, you've lost all your rights. So you're no longer like I'm sorry, but you gave up the ability to vote. You gave up the ability to be treated the same as. I'm not justifying slavery, dude. You're justifying. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Time out.
Yep. Go ahead.
That is what you're doing. It is still slave labor. You saying that they gave up all their rights because they committed a crime when they didn't give up. They still do have rights. But
yeah.
That's neither here nor there, right? But they
right.
gave up their rights, right? Mm-hmm. They gave up their rights because they committed a crime. And so, them doing slave labor for corporations, by the way, they're not doing like they're not like going around the city cleaning up the city. They're not, you know what I mean? They're not painting the walls of the Capitol building. They're not doing stuff like that. They are putting together. They are stitching together clothes for fucking for Hanes. They're you see what I'm saying? They're making cups for Stanley. They're you know what I mean? Like that is slave labor.
Yeah, it's not glorious work, that's for sure. But I would also argue.
It's not about it being glorious. It is
listen, if some guy goes to prison and is a felon because he unalived someone or he raped someone, if they don't get shot into the sun, they can make Hanes for the rest of their life. And if you want to justify them, you can justify however you want. But that is it to me. That is the best possible outcome.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. Just a little trigger. I don't like listening to white people.
Bruh, shut the fuck up, you fucking peasant.
Right now. I don't get. There's a few things a little triggering to me, but white men justifying slavery, crazy. I can't.
I didn't justify slavery.
And the whole and incarceration was to extend and find a way to continue slavery and exploitation, specifically of Black Americans. They had to find a legal route.
Yep.
And it was to make people like you, whatever your name is, feel better about it. Because you can say, oh, well, you committed a crime, so you deserve to be a slave.
No, I won't. I'll tell you, I do think that there's a lot of issues with the prison system. I'm not saying it's perfect by any means.
I was just saying, like the whole incarceration, what we know it today, is deeply rooted and only came from when slavery was officially over. They had to figure out a way to keep the economy thriving. Mm-hmm. So what better way to lock up folks for minor things, really, right? You didn't really have to have a reason to be locked up, right? And so now you don't have rights. Oh, your rights are taken because that's in the law and the book. And so now we can exploit for labor.
Yep.
Same thing.
Same shit.
Same thing.
And the things that they was locking up initially, they was locking Black people up because they was like, all right, y'all got to get off the plantation because we ain't gonna pay y'all whatever, slavery's over, right? And then Black people didn't have nowhere to go, and they was rounding up the Black people saying that they were vagrants.
Right.
Where the fuck? They have no land. They had nowhere to go. Then they was rounding them up, putting them in prison, and putting them on the chain gang, and making them fucking work hard labor for 5 years in prison just for living, like just for being homeless, pretty much. Like, you see what I'm saying? That's brother, and that shit is happening right now in America.
Right. It's 150 years later. We are here still today.
Doing the same shit and listen to a white man come up here and say, that's capitalism. Who cares? You lost your rights.
Well, my race has nothing to do with it. I'm capable of thinking outside that box. Like, I'm not.
Wait,
Oh,
yes, hold on. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It will 100%.
How?
I don't because well, first off, I don't even think you understand that the majority of white people don't even benefit from capitalism. Like, do you understand that like within, especially in the West, capitalism is based upon hierarchy, meaning the ruling class, the capitalist class who owns the means of production, they need people, which is the proletariat. They need them to not have as much resources. So they extract what? They extract their labor so that they are dependent on who? They're dependent on the ruling class for what? The means of production.
Can I
Whether
respond?
it's job. Go ahead.
So you're not exactly wrong, but how you're framing it is pretty bad. So you need someone who's invested their time and resources to create a company. That is part of the hierarchy. Yes, they're at the top. They have assumed all the risk in whatever company is that they have created, and they need people to create products or goods and services in order to.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay,
Let me
sure.
ask you a question. Wait, hold on, Chad. Hold on. I gotta ask a question. So I hear that a lot from people who don't understand capitalism. They say that stuff like, "Well, you invested the money and da 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 da," but that ain't shit. That's not a risk.
It 100% is.
Way I act as if the people who are working aren't also risking themselves, right? So here's my question. Are you familiar with what is happening in the Congo?
No.
No?
No, I'm not.
Oh my God. Oh my.
That's cool.
Okay.
It was really cringy to hear him speak because he was talking so calm and like.
Holy shit. These are people, these are also voters. These are people who vote, who pretend that they have any idea what they're talking about. Like, I truly cannot believe what I just heard. So he stopped me. He stopped me midway through what I was saying to tell me I was wrong and that the worker is assuming as much risk as the person who bought the factory, the machines, everything that's inside of it. And then he asked me if I knew what was going on in the Congo. Sorry, I don't know what's going on in the Congo. Let's look and see what's going on in the Congo right now. Democratic Republic of Congo. Whose borders will be closed. 8 organizations fear a new humanitarian crisis in restive Eastern Congo region, where the renowned armed rebel group M23 is in the midst of a new advance that threatens to cut off a major city. And so are they in a civil war? Is that what's going on? People like that give high school dropouts like me a bad name. The Congo. The Congo was the straw that broke the camel's back there. So he stopped me in my whole thing to ask if I knew what was going on in the Congo. When I said I didn't, he kicked me because what I was about to say to him about all this stuff was going to make all the bullshit that he was saying about capitalism gone. Now, capitalism isn't a perfect system by any means, but you don't need, like, nobody is getting, like, because I get rich doesn't mean that king gets poor. Not how it works. Again, there's corruption at every level of everything. Nothing is perfect. These people are peak stupid, and they're race baiting. The whole live is about being white, black. Oh fuck, I'm the new Jim Crow. They're rounding people up, making them work. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not the only person who believes the fact that, and I'm not the only white person, black person, whatever, that believes that you gave up your rights. Now as a felon, you don't get those same rights. So what are you going to do to keep yourself occupied in prison? You're probably going to sew some fucking underwear, because what should have happened was that for whatever happened, you should have been thrown into a wood chipper. Motherfucker. Hold on. Yeah, it's peak stupidity. I unfortunately do have to get going, guys. I'm going to grab some lunch. I got to make some more phone calls because the world is crumbling around me. I don't really feel that good. For those who are here, I'm going to put out a tweet and a community post, but there will be no Shagcast tonight. I am not feeling well. I'm going to hang out with my wife. I'm going to read my book. I'm going to just chill, maybe start a new puzzle. But I will be back soon. This was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. For those who are new to these TikTok debates, I used to do these all the time. We're going to start doing them more because I really like it. And sometimes I like to laugh at people. Be good. Love one another. Take care of yourselves today. Be the best person that you possibly can. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the midweek comp episode 101. We're going to go over our Vegas trip. We're going to hang out. We're going to probably talk about some current event stuff. Maybe the Congo, so I know what the hell's going on. All right, y'all. Be good.
I like to